Ex-fiancé quit his job for dreams and dumped me via text a week before the wedding. 3 years later, he reappears wanting me back, but I've married someone he knows. Hi, I, 30F, was engaged to my ex-fiancé Felix, 34M, when I was 26, which was almost 4 years ago. We were supposed to get married 3 years ago, but he dumped me via text a week before the wedding and took off to Germany, where he had been offered his dream job. Felix and I met through mutual friends and had been together for 3 years before he proposed to me, leading to our engagement. Felix was a zoology major and worked as a professor when we met. However, I always knew his dream was to make significant contributions to his field, which I found noble. When Felix was offered a position as a research specialist for a new study, he accepted it and moved away, without discussing it with me. A week before our wedding, Felix was supposed to fly to Hawaii with his friends for his bachelor trip, but never showed up at the airport. Hours later, we learned he was in Germany and had decided to end our relationship. In his text, Felix explained that he had to accept the job offer because it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He also mentioned that he didn't want me to sacrifice my life, friends, family, and career for his dreams. Likewise, he couldn't give up on his aspirations, so he left without saying goodbye. Felix claimed he had been thinking about this for months and didn't want to have a long, drawn-out discussion or goodbye. He apologized, said I deserved someone better, and expressed regret over ending things this way. I didn't have an issue with his dreams, but I felt deeply hurt that he didn't even have a conversation with me before making such a life-altering decision. Communication is essential in any relationship, especially one where you're planning to get married. Felix's decision left me devastated. Our breakup came out of nowhere, and while I tried to cope, I was completely broken. He paid off all the wedding vendors as an apology, so I didn't have any financial obligations related to the canceled wedding. We didn't speak after the breakup, and our mutual friends cut ties with him as well. Felix and I had been happy together, and the suddenness of the breakup left me struggling with my self-worth and confidence. A few weeks later, Felix's cousin Sam, 32M, came by to pick up Felix's belongings. I had met Sam a few times at family gatherings, but we weren't close, nor were Sam and Felix. Sam needed the money Felix offered him for the task, so he agreed to help. When Sam arrived at my house, I tried to stay out of his way. However, he noticed how distraught I looked and stayed to talk to me. I wasn't very talkative at first, but when I opened up, I ended up crying in front of him. Sam comforted me and assured me that Felix didn't realize what he had lost. His words made me feel slightly better, and before he left, he gave me his number, telling me I could call if I needed someone to talk to. Over time, Sam and I stayed in touch and became good friends. He supported me through my heartbreak, encouraging me to get out of the house, go to work, and reconnect with my friends. On days when I needed time alone, he would come over and sit with me quietly, offering silent companionship. I didn't realize when I fell in love with him, but a year later, he moved in with me, and we've been together ever since. 2 years ago, Sam moved into my house and never left. While some might think it was rushed, I truly loved him and knew he was the one for me. Earlier this year, we decided it was time to get married. It wasn't a big celebration, just a small, intimate ceremony with close family and friends. That's how we wanted it, and it was perfect for us. Everyone in Sam's family and my circle of friends was told not to inform Felix about the wedding. We didn't want him to find out, as it would likely cause unnecessary drama. Even Felix's parents, who had been kind and supportive of me after the breakup, kept it a secret despite being invited and attending the ceremony. I was initially unsure if they could keep quiet since they were still in touch with Felix, but thankfully, everyone respected our wishes. Sam and I have been happily married for a few months now. I can confidently say Felix was right when he told me I'd find someone better than him. Life has been blissful for Sam and me. We have a deep connection that I never felt with Felix. However, last week, Felix unexpectedly showed up at my doorstep. I hadn't seen or spoken to him since our breakup 3 years ago. I was shocked to see him standing there, holding a bouquet of flowers. Before I could say a word, he started apologizing for ending our relationship the way he did. He explained that the study he had been working on in Germany failed, and the project had run out of funding. He quit his job and returned home for good. Felix told me he regretted leaving me and breaking things off over text. He said he now realized he had made a huge mistake and wanted to make things right. Felix went on to say that he wanted us to pick up where we left off and get married as soon as possible, claiming I was the woman of his dreams. I waited for him to finish his speech before calmly showing him the wedding ring on my finger. I told him I was already married to Sam, his cousin. Felix's face turned pale, and his jaw dropped. I took the opportunity to close the door, telling him to leave. When Sam came home later, I told him about Felix's visit. Sam admitted he had received several missed calls from Felix's father earlier, but didn't know what they were about. After hearing about the visit, Sam felt uneasy. While we hadn't considered how Felix might react to our marriage, I assured Sam that Felix's opinion didn't matter. He made his decision when he left, and our relationship was none of his business. A few days later, Felix caused a drunken scene outside our house. He yelled loudly, accusing us of ruining his life and betraying him. When we stepped outside, he saw me and began sobbing uncontrollably. Felix claimed he had never stopped loving me and couldn't accept that I had moved on with his cousin. He called me selfish and shameless for marrying Sam. Sam immediately called the police, and Felix was taken away. However, his words lingered in my mind, leaving me upset. Sam and I chose not to discuss the incident, but we both knew the situation was affecting us. Felix's return had reopened wounds I thought had healed, and we struggled to ignore the impact of his presence. Following the incident, Sam and I tried to carry on with our lives, but Felix wasn't done creating trouble. About a week later, he posted a long rant about us on social media. In the post, he accused us of betraying him, claiming we had gotten together out of spite to hurt him. He even implied that I had been seeing Sam while we were still engaged, which was a complete lie. Felix painted himself as the victim, saying I was a manipulative person who used him and that Sam was a pathetic loser who stole his fiancé. I didn't see the post myself, as I had blocked Felix on all platforms after our breakup. However, mutual friends sent me screenshots. I was furious. Felix's post crossed a line, so I warned him through a mutual contact that I would pursue legal action for slander if he didn't take it down. He eventually deleted the post but sent me a hateful message, calling me derogatory names and claiming I deserved to end up with someone as worthless as Sam. That was the final straw. I blocked him on all platforms and decided to cut him out of my life completely. I also shared screenshots of his messages with his family and mutual friends, ensuring everyone knew the kind of person he had become. Most of his family and friends had already distanced themselves from him, but the messages solidified their stance. Felix's parents later reached out to apologize for his behavior. They revealed that he had developed a drinking problem in Germany after the failure of his research project and his inability to move on from me. They explained that they had brought him back home to help him recover and hoped I wouldn't hold his actions against him. Sam and I understood their perspective. Felix's parents had always been kind and supportive of me, and we didn't blame them for trying to help their son. However, we made it clear that Felix was no longer welcome in our lives, and we hoped they would respect our boundaries. Despite Felix's attempts to disrupt our peace, Sam and I became closer than ever. We decided to start couples counseling to address any lingering concerns and ensure that Felix's behavior wouldn't affect our marriage. Counseling has been incredibly helpful. It allowed us to strengthen our communication and deepen our connection. In fact, the sessions encouraged us to start thinking about our future together. We've begun discussing plans to expand our family and have a baby. I've also been working towards a promotion at my job, which will provide the financial stability we need to move into a larger home. Sam and I are excited about what lies ahead, and we're committed to building a happy, drama-free life together. As for Felix, we hope he gets the help he needs, but we've decided to let go of any lingering guilt or anger towards him. His actions are his responsibility, not ours. Felix's behavior gradually faded into the background as Sam and I focused on our future. We started planning for the things that mattered most to us: our family, our careers, and our dreams. We both agreed to leave Felix's drama in the past and move forward with positivity and purpose. The promotion I had been working towards finally came through, and it was a turning point for us. With the increased salary, we were able to start looking at potential homes in a better neighborhood, ones that would provide a wonderful environment for the family we planned to build. Sam, too, found a groove in his work, and the event management business he was part of started seeing significant growth. A few months after the last interaction with Felix, his parents reached out to let us know that he had entered a rehabilitation program for his drinking problem. They expressed their hope that he would finally turn his life around. While we wished him well, Sam and I made it clear that we didn't want any updates about Felix unless it directly affected us. We needed to protect our peace, and his parents respected that boundary. In the meantime, counseling continued to be a great resource for us. It helped us address any lingering feelings about Felix's return and reaffirmed the strength of our relationship. We realized that no outside influence could shake the bond we had built. Sam and I celebrated our first wedding anniversary with a small group of close friends and family. It was a beautiful and intimate occasion, free of any drama, and it reminded us of how far we had come as a couple. Our plans for starting a family were well underway, and with the support of our loved ones, we felt ready for whatever challenges life might throw our way. Felix's chapter in our lives was officially closed. Although his return had caused temporary chaos, it ultimately made us stronger as a couple. We learned to communicate better, prioritize each other, and focus on the love and happiness we shared. Looking back, I no longer feel anger or resentment towards Felix. Instead, I feel gratitude for the experiences that led me to where I am today, with a loving husband, a promising future, and a life that's truly mine.